So for the last week or so, everybody's been talking about Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And I mean everybody. Listen, this goes beyond we fans, anime enjoyers, any kind of animation fans. No, the show went full mainstream, like it was everywhere, and it still is everywhere. So, as I said in my last anime review, which was for Monster, I think, I said that I won't be doing any anime reviews for a while. The reason being because I'm watching a very long show, Gintama. I will talk about Gintama at length when I finish it. And I said to myself, yeah, that's gonna take a while because it's a long ass show. But with all of the publicity, all of the hype, all of the praise, significant praise, for Cyberpunk Edgerunners, I was like, okay, it's 10 episodes. I'm gonna binge it in one day. Easy come, easy go, no problems. I'm just gonna delay Gintama for one day and set it aside a little bit. So yeah, I've been reading headlines like the greatest anime in the last, I don't know, 10 years, incredible work of art, masterpiece. Like this goes beyond animation. This is like a universal masterpiece. So much praise. And it came out of nowhere. I didn't see any trailers, any anticipation. It just popped off. It just came, was created, took off, went into the fucking mainstream. Things happen. The internet, the world is a mysterious place that unexpected things happen all the time. So, and when it comes to TV shows, yeah, there have been a few examples of that, good and bad. So basically, do I think Cyberpunk Edgerunners, after watching it today, I've taken like a few hours to digest my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts, and I came to a conclusion. So, is it the masterpiece? Is it the universally acclaimed work of art that everybody has been hyping it up to be? Well, it depends who you're asking. If you're asking Gaguk, which is he is literally the AniTube godfather, he thinks so. He agrees. With this highly acclaimed reviews. He says yes, it was incredible. Moist Critical, he made a review about it. Gave it 90% on the Moist meter. 90%. He said it was incredible also. So many people, big respectable content creators, unlike me, have given their opinions, and most of them, nearly all of them, have been positive. Even more than positive, I would say. Very positive. So, now, if you ask me, do I think Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a masterpiece? I do not think so. Do I think Cyberpunk Edgerunners is incredible? I do not think so. Do I think it's a good show? Yes. I think it's a good show. It's absolutely not even close to a masterpiece. It really tries to be. It insists on itself, I would say. But in my eyes, it doesn't succeed. Doesn't reach that masterpiece level. So listen. I know, if you're watching this video, I'm not very famous, so I don't respond to many comments. Someone to comment on my videos is like a blessing from the heavens. Something unexpected, and mostly pleasant, to be honest, surprisingly. But if this video specifically, somehow explodes, gets millions of views, then yes, a lot of people will disagree on me. And I would go above and say a lot of people will be angry at me. It's like insulting their favorite toy, insulting their favorite food, insulting something that they hold so close and dear. But listen, guys, the world is not created for you. It is not created for me. It just exists. We have our opinions, our tastes, our preferences. Most of the time, yes, we may disagree with each other. but that doesn't really warrant like something like death threats, confrontations, toxicity. I mean, I don't need to spell out for you. Don't be a fucking dick, okay? In simple terms, don't be a fucking vermin piece of shit asshole. Hopefully that message has reached you, if you are one. It's never late to choose the redemption road. But anyway, I'm not too of a good person myself, but I'm just saying. Let us try to be better, okay? Anyway. So, obviously I'll try to explain myself. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is set in Night City. This, yes, you heard me right. It is the same universe, the same location, the same atmosphere. Everything was nearly identical to the Cyberpunk 2077 travesty of a game. That game, as well as the series show, had massive potential. Both of them were shooting for the stars, and in my opinion, both of them didn't reach the tip of the sky even. But anyway, I made a review of Cyberpunk 2077. If you'd like to watch that, it's not very quality. It's old. I look horrible, but if you want to see my opinion, that is still valid. It hasn't changed. Yeah, then go ahead, see my playlist, and find it yourself. I think I made it easy enough. But anyway, I would say that the story of this show feels a lot different to the story of Cyberpunk 2077. Yet the conclusions of both feel the same. Feel not the same, but similar. I felt the same way I felt about the ending of both of them. For some reason, I don't know. But anyway, there will be some spoilers, some references, like something like Attack on Titan. I'll spoil some big plot twist that happens, and I'll spoil some little bit things of Arcane. I'll mention a few comparisons, but not much. I will be mentioning a lot of spoilers for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So if you watch the show, continue watching, or just leave. I don't know. But if you haven't, and if you don't care about spoilers, stay. But if you do, not the place for you, bro. Anyway, so Cyberpunk Edgerunners starts relatively strong, but I would say my biggest criticism from the beginning to the end is that this show does not slow, this doesn't like, you know, take itself more patiently, more development, more something, some build up, some kind of development. No, it just goes nuts to butts and it does not stop for a second. That may sound good to you, but for me, it just felt it lacked the umph. It lacked the necessities of a masterpiece. That's what I'm gonna say. Yes, it lacked the necessity of a masterpiece. The story still worked. They still pieced everything together, relatively satisfiable, but not too much. It should have taken itself more slowly, like to, try to take the breaks, slow down, take a breath, reflect, anything. Just don't rush this. It felt so rushed, dude. It felt so rushed. And it leaves out a few characters that really needed development. Like, for example, David's mom, David, the main character. David's mom is like, it's horrible to lose your mom. It's like, I do not wish this to happen to anybody, even to myself. I know it's life, it happens, but this is a horrible experience, no matter how it happens or to who it happens. Losing a mom or any kind of relative depends on your relationship, really. But most of the time, it is tragic. It is horrible. It still is in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. The first episode starts with his mom dying, him being like depressed, not fitting into his class, just like me, and just feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, and basically angry at everything and everyone. So his mom dies in the middle of the episode, out of nowhere. They're having a generic NPC discussion, like, Oh, I work for you. You should go to school. You should become a very, very rich corporate businessman. Have so much expectations of you, son. I really don't want you to disappoint me. And he's like, okay, mom, okay, well, whatever. And it's just like a normal, son, mom and son discussion, parent child. And then fucking terrorists come in with their guns, shooting up the whole fucking place. And then it has a car crash happens, and then his mom dies. Not instantly, she dies eventually in the hospital, which makes it even more worse. But yeah, it didn't feel developed enough for me to feel for his mom dying. It didn't feel like cohesive emotionally. I don't know. It didn't feel emotionally uh driving. It's an important moment in the story that really puts uh puts the main character in action, but it doesn't feel very emotional. It's like his mom is there for a few moments, and she's not, and that's it. That's how it feels, and that's how it's presented. Unfortunately, listen. I know you may say that it's the same with Attack on Titan, with Aaron's mom getting eaten in the first episode, but it's not. But it's not. His mom was like so much like important thing to the story. It drives, I mean, the two main characters. I'm making, comparisons, but the way she goes is so much more emotional, so much more like emotionally scarring for the main character and for us, the viewers, at least in my opinion. It is such an important scene. Both of them are so important scenes, but one of them does it inexplicably better than the other, and that is Attack on Titan. It was so emotional. Like she's trying not to cry. She's scared that she will die. She does not want to die, but she has no choice. Her legs are broken. She has no way of escape. She just wants her child to be taken out of harm's way and live his life, but she doesn't want to leave him alone. That's why she's crying. She's trying to, hold her tears back, and it's so much more emotional, so much more, uh, you know, engaging. I would say. I know it sounds weird, but yes, it is more engaging. In Cyberpunk, it just happens. You don't feel too much because the mother wasn't developed. You don't feel any kind of like a gut punch that it was supposed to have. So you see then the main character going to Ripper Doc, putting some modifications on his body, becoming a badass, trying to fight people with his new uh time stopping ability, and he's like taking all of his anger on the school bully, and he does it successfully, might I add. So eventually he meets Lucy. Let me talk about Lucy. Lucy is literally okay. David and Lucy's relationship is the best part of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. The best part, in my opinion, is the evolvement of their relationship, the chemistry between the two, and the tragic ending that occurs. But anyway, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I'm just gonna say my piece basically. Some things in some shows stand out more than other. So there's a show that you like, but you see clearly that some aspects are much more interesting than the other. And in this case, this was the most interesting aspect of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It was literally the most plot-driven, emotionally engaging thing in this story. The story of David and Lucy. I'm not a romantic guy. Listen, I've been dumped. I've dumped. I have experienced so many failures when it comes to relationship, romantic ones, and basically every kind of relationship. But that's my problem, so I gotta live with it somehow. But even even me, a guy like me who is so romantically given up, enjoyed their relationship. It felt so engaging, so heartwarming, even I would say at times, and it felt so good. It felt so engaging. It made the show. This was the best aspect of the show. The three best aspects of the show: the animation, the music, and the relationship between David and Lucy. Like The music, every single scene, it's a boner jam. Every single fucking song, track, every little tingling of music in this show is phenomenal. It's so cool. Just oozes style and atmosphere. Just like the game as well. The game had pretty kick-ass soundtrack. And the animation. Whoa, whoa. Studio Trigger. I haven't seen any other anime of Studio Trigger, but I can't think they've done anything better than that. I'll see. I watch Gurren Lagann, which is supposedly one of their works, but I don't think anything will reach that level of animation in their studio. The animation was phenomenal. The action scenes were filmed incredibly well. But then again, I'm gonna stop praising it for a little bit, the show, and talk about the story. The story reminded me a little bit of Cowboy Bebop. So, if anybody doesn't know, I do not like Cowboy Bebop. I think it's severely, hugely overrated. I will get a lot of hate for that. I'm sure. I've already have had hate for that. Like when I'm talking about it with some friends or some people who have watched and saying, "Oh, you're absolutely fucking mentally insane. You should be checked. You're a sociopath. How could you not like this beautiful, incredible gift sent from the anime gods? I can't believe it. You ruined your life." Like, okay, dude. Okay, I'm okay. I don't. I wow. Nobody can have opinions, right? Anyway, it reminded me of that because in both shows there is not an overarching narrative. There are just situations that occur that move the plot forward. But the thing that Cyberpunk Edgerunners does a little bit better than Cowboy Bebop is that the occurrences, the situations that happen, actually progress the plot that it tries to set up. In Cowboy Bebop, there is no plot. Literally, you could skip 5 episodes and not miss anything. It's just filler until the last few episodes that are actually, a follow up to each one. And it's like so unrewarding, but anyway, that's my opinion. At least Cyberpunk Edgerunners does not commit that horrible sin that Cowboy Bebop has committed, in my eyes, that is. But it's still, the plot doesn't feel, there isn't anything there isn't, I want to become the, uh, you know, the pirate king. I don't want to kill all the titans. I don't want to, I don't know, save my mom or something. No, but that means mom is dead. But anyway, there isn't an overarching goal, narrative, anything. They're just events of random occurrences that happen and drive somewhat of a semi-plot. I don't have a severe problem with it, but I would say it does make the story incohesive a bit. But nonetheless, I would say the two best characters in the show that stood out the most in my eyes are Main, the slash the like the cool uncle slash dad figure of the show to the main character, and obviously Lucy. Lucy was such a good character. Lucy is the reason this show is so famous, and the animation. Slap me if you think I'm wrong. I do think that is a fact. I think Lucy and the animation are the two main reasons this show is that famous so far. So that's my opinion of this. But anyway, these two make the show, and the death and Main's death feels so impactful. I would say it feels impactful. It feels impactful, and after everything after this just doesn't reach the same point of story quality. Not that it was high in the first place, but I wouldn't say it reaches the same level in the last 3 episodes, I think. So anyway, the ending. I'll spoil the ending for you. So Adam Smasher, he's one of the main villains in the game. He's mentioned once, like a joke, like a Easter egg reference to the game. And it's like, okay, it's nice to mention him. I'm sure he won't be anything important. Sure. Oh boy, was I wrong? Was I wrong? He appears, and I wish he didn't. Arasaka, the main villains that we see only once and only at the end, that have been secretly plotting and maneuvering and finessing everything behind the scenes. Oh, thank you for showing us that at the end and not developing it any further. But anyway, they say, oh, that kid, the main character, is very dangerous. I summon you, Adam Smasher. Go ahead and kill him. Yes, I will. 2 scenes later, he kills the main character. Boom! And the story fucking ends. The main character is smashed to pieces. He managed to save Lucy, but it doesn't feel at all emotionally scarring for her. He was the reason for Lucy to continue moving on. She was trying to, save him. He was her reason of being alive. That's how strong their connection was towards the end. And I'm sure she does feel pain, but the writers or the directors, the cinematographers did not show it that way. Literally, the scene where Dave gets killed by Adam Smasher, fucking smashed to bits. They cut like 2 seconds after his death. They cut to her going to the moon vacation, the one they two wanted to go. It's like, okay, I just needed 2 extra scenes, like her crying, her feeling regret, her feeling any kind of emotional loss. No, let's film her going to the fucking moon on a vacation, and obviously they show him they show the memories that have experienced the two of them for a split second, and then she looks up to the moon all alone, and the show ends. Look, I get it. I get why the show's ending is rated 9.5 out of 10 on IMDb. I get it, because when you turn off your brain, your thinking, normal human brain, and you see only the action, only the set pieces, and only the events that are happening, you will love it. But when you start digesting, thinking a little bit critically of the situations that are occurring before your eyes, you're going to see a lot of holes, a lot of plot holes that do not seem very satisfying, at least in my eyes. So the ending felt inconclusive, unclimactic, and unrewarding, I would say. I felt betrayed a little bit. That's my opinion. Oh, and I forgot to mention, what was his name? God damn it, he was so forgettable. He's such a dumb villain. What was his name? Oh my god, I had to look it up. Sorry, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Whoa, okay. Faraday. Faraday is one of the most generic, stupid villains I've ever seen in any TV show. Oh my god, this guy. I know he's voiced by Giancarlo Esposito in the English dub. I've watched the English dub. Oh my god. His voice acting is amazing. Giancarlo Esposito's performance was, as always, in whatever he's in, phenomenal. But the writing betrays him so badly. This guy, his motivation, guess what? Owning Night City. Being the king of the world. Having much more power, much more influence. Anything, just more. Give me more, more. I'm bad. I'm bad because I'm bad. These are the worst villains in fiction. I hate when villains are just bad for the sake of being bad and for the sake of them being a plot device. Poorly written plot device, might I add. He felt so generic. We've seen that so many times, but I wanted it to be good because it's Giancarlo Esposito, but he's such a dumb, generic, by the book, stupidly evil and uninteresting villain. He was so bad because of the writing. If the show's writing was better, if it just took its time more, it had more development for the characters, more extra scenes with Lucy and David, more development for David's mother before she dies, before her untimely death, more. It just lacks. This show, it felt like it was rushed so heavily. I don't think that all of these 10 episodes should be in one season. I think it should have been stretched to 20 and split them into two seasons. Like, I think the show should have ended with Maine's death, the death of Maine, with some extra episodes that flesh out his relationship with David. End season one with Maine's death, and then start season two with D or David getting fucking buff and beating up punks for laughs. I think if they took that direction with more character development, more slow pacing, I would have agreed with these people saying it is one of the greatest animes in recent years and an unforgettable experience. But listen, I do not think so. It could have been, like the game, it could have been an unforgettable experience. But in 2 weeks' time, guess what? The only thing I remember from this show is Lucy and Dee's relationship, and I'm sure I will forget that too in a month or two. Well, there's another show that I didn't think it was perfect, and it hurted me that it wasn't perfect. Arcane. Arcane was a show that I still love. It has issues, but the highs so much outweigh the lows, and it really is phenomenal. It could have been so much better because if there wasn't any Magitech stuff, if Jason's character did not fucking exist, if his relationship with the black chick did not exist, everything stupid and arcane, aka if they solely made the show about Jinx and V's relationship, Arcane would have been one of the greatest achievements in human history when it comes to entertainment. Arcane would have been an undeniable masterpiece, godfather of animation. But they split the show into two parts, and I much preferred the second part, which was the relationship and conflict between Jinx, Silco, V, and their father figure. This was the reason why I think Arcane is amazing. Not because of the Magitech and Jason stuff, but because of these two girls' relationship, these two sisters. I think Arcane is a better show than Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I think it still sticks with me in my soul and my heart. I still remember it, but I don't think I'll remember Cyberpunk Edgerunners when in like a distant future, or even the close future. So anyway, guys, plugging the show into the Ninometer, or just the generic IGN rating, I would give Cyberpunk Edgerunners a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10, I think it's a fair score for this show. I think the animation is pretty good. Very, very good. I'm sorry. The music is very good. The action is very good. The relationship with Lucy and David was very good, even though rushed. The writing, not amazing. If they just could have taken their time to flesh out the characters, and specifically his fucking mom, I would have loved the show more. But with this product that I've experienced, this form of entertainment that I've just watched, I will give it a 7.5. I think it's a good show. I do recommend you to watch it. I think if you just turn off your thinking brain and accept the flaws, you will enjoy it more than I did, because I never do that. When I'm watching something, I always analyze it to the most critical extent, extent, but you're different than me. Everybody's different, so you may love it. And I do think it's a good show. Not a masterpiece, not incredible, not amazing. It's a good show that I think most people will like. Not a masterpiece, not in my eyes. But anyway, this video is already too long. And yeah, hope you enjoyed my newest anime review. Thanks for watching. If you disagree with me, type in the comments. If you liked the video, like and subscribe, you know the drill, usual YouTube shit. And yeah, if you want to talk about Cyberpunk Edgerunners or anything anime, anything gaming, I'm free whenever you are. So, let's see if that'll happen. Thanks for watching once again. And yeah, I just got out of the shower too, so my eyes are red. I've not been crying. It looks maybe that way, but I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. So yeah, I apologize for my horrible appearance, as usual. Thank you for watching. See you next time.